Alright, I'm back. I'm going to play Juno First. It's a Konami game from 1983. In Konami, they had some really good shooters. Gyrus, Juno First, Time Pilot from the early 80s. So this is Juno First. And I'm playing it on the Pandora Box 4 again. So this game you can move forward, backwards. And for each wave you get 3 warps. And I'll just use one right there. You just hit warp and you disappear, and I missed that. If you saw that planet there, it's kind of like a pod. It's got an astronaut in it. You shoot that, an astronaut comes out, and if you run into the astronaut, then you get like a kind of like a bonus bonus points for a couple minutes when you're shooting the I'll show you on this one here. If I get it, there it is. So you get a little astronaut comes out, you gotta run into him. And then they stop shooting, and yeah, that one didn't work out very well. This is a tough game though. You don't get your first extra man till 100,000 points. But it's fun. Kind of reminds me of Beam Rider, the Activision game from for the 2600. Might have been where Activision got the idea for Beam Rider. So. You see, the red ones are more like a heat-seeking missile type thing that will chase you. But you can shoot them. The red ones you can shoot. I'm missing the planets here. You get bonus points at the end of each wave, depending on how much time you have left. Damn it! And it keeps showing up where I can't get him. There it is. But as you can see, you get it's nice they give you 4 or 3 warps for each wave, because you go through them pretty quickly in the later waves. What it said? Yeah, there. We'll do it again. Yeah, but Konami came out with some really good games in the early 80s. As you can see, I like the late 70s, early 80s games. It's just, I'm 49, so, you know, my first system growing up was, me and my brothers would play Pong when I was about 8 or 9 years old. So we got a Atari 2600, and then we did eventually get an Atari 5200, and go to the arcades all the time. There's nothing much more to do where I grew up in Vermont, so. But by 84, 85, I was out of gaming. I didn't play games much more when I was a kid. You know, by that time I was getting my driver's license. I was out, you know, chasing the girls and getting into trouble and going to see all the hair bands in the 80s, rock concerts, and things like that. I didn't get back into gaming until, probably 90. I joined the service in 89, and I spent 22 years in the Coast Guard, where I retired. About 90, that's when I got the Sega Genesis, and from then on I've had just about all the systems, from Nintendo 64, GameCube, Dreamcast, Saturn, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, 2, 3. Not the 4. I like the Xbox better, so I was the Xbox 360. Now I play a lot of games on the Xbox One, like Gears of War is my favorite. Me and my son play that all the time online. And we'll play one more here. But, so, I had I had a Super Nintendo along with my Sega Genesis, but I didn't play the Nintendo, the original Nintendo. It was just, I was out of gaming at that time. I was, you know, 15, 16, get my license, and doing other things. But I do remember my aunt was dating a guy in I don't know, 79, 80, and he repaired video arcade machines, and he had a few in the shop, and he actually one Christmas he gave us a Space Invaders arcade cabinet, and let us use it for like 6 months. Then he broke up with my aunt, and we had to kind of give it back, but for about 6 months we had our own Space Invaders arcade in about 1980 in our house, so we had all the kids coming over to play that. We did eventually buy a pinball machine before they broke up from him. Actually, a couple of them. It was the same pinball machine. My father bought 2 of them, just one for spare parts. But we had an old Bally's Pinball Wizard pinball machine. The Who themed pinball machine. So we used to play the crap out of that in the house too. They eventually gave it to my brother when he moved out to Nevada, and he sold it. I knew he would, so I don't know why they gave it to him. I knew right when he got it he was going to sell it, so. But And we'll do one more, because I can do better than this. But it was kind of cool in the 80s to 1980 to have your own arcade machine in your house. Except you talk about sore thumb pushing that fire button. Oh. You know, I like arcade1up as a company, but I'm not going to buy the games that like Final Fight and Rampage and those cabinets. I have a 12-in-1 just because I wanted to play the games that, you know, had the unique controls, like the trackball and the spinner, and I was lucky that both my trackball and spinner were awesome on that cabinet. And like I said, I'll play some games on that one day, some Major Havoc and stuff like that. But the other ones, the Final Fights, and they have the Marvel one coming out, and the Ninja Turtles, and you can play them on this. My Pandora Key 7, I can hitch up controllers in the back, and you can play 4-player Ninja Turtles and things like that. I like the company, and I am thinking about getting the Star Wars arcade cabinet when it does come out, because I'm more into the maybe getting the cabinets they come out with that have more of the unique controls that but the ones with the that you use a joystick and button for. You can buy these for $60. My Pandora Key 7 was $170, and it has all the games on it, and they play great, especially on the Pandora Key 7. These old, they play awesome. There's no slowdown to them. Plays all the Mortal Kombat games great. Yeah. But I know why people buy them, because they like the artwork on the sides, and they got the money, and that's fine. I have better things to spend my money on than the artwork. And I can play the games right here, just as good as they're going to be able to play the games on their system. Whoa. But this is an addicting game. Juno First, it's a really good shooter. Well, that's it. That's Juno First. I think the next one I'll do is Time Pilot and get the Konami ones out of the way. Alright, have a good day.